Yo, Beyond the Fairway podcast back on a Monday morning. This won't come out till Wednesday, so it doesn't matter. You're going to get it. Will, Lowry, and I, Henni, we've been in Birmingham, Alabama for the last few days at the PGA Works Collegiate Championship. And Will, we're in Birmingham, Alabama. I know you in your spot, I'm in mine. And I got to admit that I have disrespected Birmingham for probably longer than I should have.
It's completely a new Birmingham now. Again, before we talk about Birmingham, I thought it was gonna be a lynching down in the main street at high noon, but it's not that Birmingham.
No, that's fair. No, that's a fair statement. I was telling Henni's like, where you at? I said, I'm in 1968. That's where I'm at right now, in Birmingham, Alabama.
But it's not like that no more. So I would no longer, put Birmingham in that space of like just utter disregard of race and all that. So it's a place where, it's almost happening. Like I was thinking, like, you ever go to places and you're like, man, could I stay here? And I think as I was like walking down the street and just kind of getting the essence of Birmingham, I'm like, I could live down here. I think I could live down here.
Henni doesn't know, but Henni, we are in Alabama.
So I do kind of know because
The
obviously
deep
I
south.
lived in Jacksonville in North Florida, which isn't all that far away. And so in the pandemic, we moved house to Scottsdale. And no one knew what was going on at that point. No one was really flying, and we got two dogs. So we rented an RV and we drove from Jacksonville to Scottsdale. And obviously you have to drive through Alabama. And there were certain places that along that line, I just said to Ben, like, I'm not getting out of the car.
That
And
I-10 corridor right there.
Alabama was one of them where I was like, I just was scared. Nothing like, I didn't see anything there, but I was just like, I'm not getting out of the car in Alabama. I'm sorry.
And you have the nerve when if people in North Carolina say, "Woo, you're going to Alabama." That's what I'm like. Oh Lord, God, be with me on this Alabama trip.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody with you down here.
You gotta have somebody. But as I leave Birmingham, Alabama, this new Birmingham, I will go back to North Carolina and try to create a new North Carolina now, because this place is awesome, and I would preach to the top of my lungs how awesome this place is, and it's not of the history books that we learned about.
No,
You guys,
go ahead.
you guys are there for the PGA Works Championship, and now I didn't know about the PGA Works or what they did or anything about them until I was living there in the US, and we had all these conversations around diversity and inclusion. So for people listening, going, what is PGA Works? Maybe they follow you guys on Instagram and they've been seeing what you've been up to. Give us a little bit of a background on PGA Works and the championship that you're at and what you're doing there.
Well, if you historically, well, let's start here. This is the 36th year of the PGA Works Collegiate Championship. It was previously named the National Minority Collegiate Championship. I want to say the PGA of America got involved to kind of manage and run the event around 2002 to 2001, in that range. But other than that, it was ran at Highland Park out of Cleveland, Ohio, and it was a group of folks that got together to give the guys and gals that went into an HBCU an opportunity to have a national championship. There were no ways in for HBCUs back in the mid 80s and the early 90s to play in like the NCAA tournament or Division I, Division II. So folks got together, created their own championship, and then years later it has been dawned the PGA Works Collegiate Championship. And you know what? Will hates when I do it because I've been saying it all week. I won this tournament in 2005. And it's really cool to see your name on the board. I'm just saying, Will, I'm sorry, but Henni told us to start it over. So I tell you, when you play in this event as a student, you really don't realize the significance of it. And as the championship has grown, as golf has become more, has made an effort to be more inclusive, we'll say that, and more representative. This championship has grown, and what it is today is completely like, I'm jealous as hell. Let's just be honest. Like, these kids is playing, getting exemptions for winning this thing. And we had Greg Odom on a couple episodes ago talking about, his plans and aspirations for the future. But he really made his name and cemented his legacy, I guess you could say, within golf via the PGA Works Collegiate Championship. So Will and I, we've been hosting stuff all week, man. And Will, like, it's been an interesting time. I'm gonna be real with you.
It has, man. It's funny. I didn't have the luxury of doing what you did, playing here as playing in the HBCU. But I had to say, when I'm getting text messages from all those who did play HBCU, like damn, it's like that now,
Yeah.
or Lupe Fiasco, he would never come to nothing that we had, It's almost like they, all the old guard, and I say old guard people our age are just getting a little bit jealous, like, well, we never had nothing like that,
Nothing, man.
So it's kind of, it's kind of good to see how things have evolved, and that means there's diversity of thought that is being put into making something and expanding it to a new audience and just a new look optically.
It's, Henny, and we talk about this championship. I think I'll give you a little synopsis of kind of what we've been doing, because the day one when we got to town on Saturday, there was a youth clinic, Henny, and let me tell you something about this youth clinic. I had never seen a lit youth clinic, man. Shout out to DJ Seals, local Birmingham DJ. He had the vibe set. We're at Shoal Creek. We ain't even talked about that part yet, Will. We're going to get to all the Shoal Creek isms.
Gotta get some context.
But we are at Shoal Creek in Birmingham, Alabama, with 200 under 14-year-olds on a driving range that have never touched golf. And Shoal Creek, of all places, was the first place they got to see a range hit golf ball. Look, there were Pro Vs on the range, and nobody took them because
they didn't know what they were.
We didn't know. They didn't know. That's how new to golf they were. Because I would have been like, I got Pro Vs, baby.
Right.
And Will and I hosted the youth day, and man, Will, I can't even describe the youth day. Like, I can't put it in words. Like how dope it was, and how different it was.
It was amazing. Henny, they had Miles College marching band come out and play for the kids. Now, it's one thing, seeing my mind couldn't really compute what exactly was happening. Like, I've seen marching band, I've seen a driving range. But I've never seen a marching band on a driving range, right? when I see my man, doing his solo act on the drums, and I see his feet, right next to some divot patterns, and I'm like, damn, like this is, I just couldn't compute, and it felt like a barbecue, man. It felt like
I think that was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah, I think it felt like a family reunion, Henny, and it was an awesome moment, and that something like that needed to happen because that's making strides towards golf. And going back to what you said, Doug, how what Shoal Creek represents and what it's known for, what I known for the from the perception that it had and the stories that I heard from PGA Tour players, just from people in the PGA of America standpoint who are of color, and it's just like shit. Like I know that moment meant a lot more to people than just me, right?
Yeah, no question.
So there was Henny, man. I wish you were here. We gotta get you across the pond, man. We just gotta enjoy some of these moments with us.
It sounds incredible, and I've really been enjoying hearing about it from you guys and just seeing you light up and tell different aspects of it. All right, we've alluded a couple times to the Shoal Creek situation. I actually didn't know about this. Today is my first day learning about this very, very recent history. So I know a little bit, but I'm looking forward, or not really, to hearing more.
All right, so back in 1990, the founder of the club was a guy named Hill Thompson. And Brentley Romine wrote an article just kind of previewing what you need to know about the event. But let me take you to this second paragraph right here. We have the right to associate with whomever we choose, said the club founder Hall Thompson prior to the 1990 PGA Championship that was contended here at Shoal Creek. The country club is our home. We pick and choose who we want. I think we've said that we don't discriminate in every other aspect except the blacks. That's just not done here in Birmingham. And he said that in media. Like, that actually went out. I mean, this club lost PGA Championships. They've lost they lost every piece of respect that you could give a golf course when these comments came out, because he was the founder. Well, I did some research actually and talked to some friends locally. He's the money behind Caterpillar, like the bulldozers and stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's the Hall Thompson money that started Shoal Creek. And two, one thing you may or may not know is this is Jack Nicklaus's first design. This is the first course that Jack Nicklaus ever did. So I'm not drawing a comparison. But
I tell you this,
you gotta ask a question here.
I'm drawing a
question here.
I'm drawing a comparison on Caterpillar. It makes a lot of sense when I needed my backyard dug up. Now, okay, I get it. Aha, makes sense.
I mean, we're chuckling, but it's horrifying. The worst thing for me is that it's so damn recent. That's in 1990. He said that.
Yeah. I was there.
In front of media.
No, he said that to the media. Oh, we don't discriminate against nobody, just the blacks. We don't do that here in Birmingham.
You know how crazy that is?
He said that shit. He said it like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like,
you almost admire the arrogance and his ignorance.
like, you know where he stood.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's like the hell with black people. Like, you know what? Yeah. Mexicans, y'all come work here, but blacks, no.
You can't be on this property.
No, don't even come through the gate. We don't. Y'all not welcome here. But it goes to show you, man. Like these moments of like abhorrent racism are visible. Even to this day, we have walking around the grounds and talking to the older PGA professionals that actually remember these things. A lot of people, it was like an event where you remember where you were when XYZ was said, and the Jerry Hammonds. That were out there with us. Everybody kind of look when we first got to property, Henni, we all kind of tiptoed like through the front door. I opened the clubhouse door and was like is it safe?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that, but we're talking about the negative on purpose, because as we've been here and we know the comments that the club founder made. What I find interesting is the fact that the new president, the new membership, the new Birmingham acknowledges the past. Right. They acknowledge it. And it's the thing is, it's like this is not Florida where they're erasing history, right?
Right.
They're saying.
I have a question there.
It's funny how this state borders Florida, but they can't kind of think about erasing history versus acknowledging it and moving forward.
Yeah,
and the vibe here is so much better because they acknowledge it, and now and because we acknowledge it, there's nothing else but to do is move forward.
And there's nothing hidden. There's nothing hidden either. Like it's like, hey, we messed up.
Yeah,
and come on in to Birmingham. Go ahead, Henni.
Beep.
It's a question that I don't really want to ask, but it's like there at the tip of my tongue, and you guys are there, so you'll be able to tell me more. Is it like? I'm going to coin a new term.
I know where you're going, Henni. Come on, bring it.
How places that have atrocities use sports to sport wash. Is this blackwashing?
So I asked the exact same question. I did it as it related to Live. I said, before I got here, I said, though, are we sports? Is Alabama, Birmingham, Shoal Creek doing what Live is reportedly or allegedly trying to do with the Live tours? And so I asked the exact same question. And I can honestly say that Will and I, you know how people have they have that gut feeling where they can sift through the bullshit and it's like they always seem to be right.
I call it spider senses.
Spider senses. As it relates to box checking, I think my spidey senses are high as hell, right? And I think Will and I, we feel when there's some bullshit going on where it's like, oh, we got to do this diversity thing. Okay, we did it. This is different. This is too much effort. This is too much public effort to check a box.
Yeah.
Like this is there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money at play. There's a lot of member investment. There's a lot of permissions from boards and trustees and cities and local partners and sponsors. There's a lot of people involved, Henni, here to check a box. It's hard to check a box when you've got hundreds of people involved in creating a space for these HBCUs and MSI schools to come in here and have a golf tournament.
Yeah, it's some of these guys, they went above and beyond, and it makes me think it's not so much about checking because they're asking probing questions.
Yeah,
you remember there's times that we spoke to Emmett McLean, who is head of
Medical Properties Trust.
Yeah, Medical Properties Trust, and he's like really asking, like, okay, what else can we do? And that's the whole point when you want to get out the box checking.
And this is a 63-year-old North Carolina grad. I think that's why he got along with Will, because he went to North Carolina. But CEO and COO of Medical Properties Trust, lives here in Birmingham. Member, he got his best friends and members at Augusta and all these kind of places. And those were the folks that we were talking to. Well, Will was talking to on the range.
And he was asking probing questions like, what can we do next? How can we leave? How can we leave these kids with something more? And when you hear people who are in leadership ask those type of questions, all right, now we're building community. Now is because usually when you see these box checking moments, it's like, all right, we did it. We got 10 minutes. Let's get this picture. Let's get this picture. And it wasn't any of that. And only time can tell. If what's going to come after this. But if it's a box checking moment, they got me fooled, because this is
that's a good statement. They got me fooled too.
Right.
I mean, I think after we got over our stereotypical thoughts, we were able to feel the warmth.
Right.
Because it was, I think, to be honest, I was a bit biased on some racist stuff. Like, I'm a black man in Birmingham, Alabama, which is the epicenter of the South, or the civil rights movement, and they acknowledge it. Even, we talked to, we'll not have been, we've talked to mayors, we've talked to university presidents, we've talked to CEOs. Well, we've been all over this town in the last 3 years. But I want to talk about something that Henni, that's kind of out of left field, because Will and I got a lot of feedback this week.
On the podcast?
We got feedback on everything. And
okay, hit me.
It's interesting how people kind of just roll up on you, right? Like, because in this new digital age, I just feel like it's hard to really meet a stranger. And folks listen to our podcast, and we had the guys from Total Access Golf just pull up on us, and they bigger than me, so I was already nervous. And I was like, "Hey, man, what's up with y'all's podcast?" It was like, "What?" It's like, "Man, we got used to y'all dropping on Thursday. Now you dropping on Wednesday. I used to start my day on Thursday with y'all. Now I had to change my schedule up." Right. So that I can listen. And I was like, okay, all right, we can talk about that. And what happened to the rap foursome, cuz? Yeah. Like, where the rap foursome at? We want to hear, like, who wants to play with who. And I just think it's so funny, like, how we have the show and we put this product out, and we don't get much feedback. Like, it's like we throw it out, and like, so you hear some things. But it was so dope to see people that I'd never met just kind of roll up on us and like, "Hey, man, what's up with the show? Like, why y'all ain't doing interviews?" I had somebody ask me, where the celebrity interviews at? Y'all ain't interviewing nobody no more. I was like, it's like all the efforts and things that we've been trying to do. Right. It's so interesting that we don't have focus groups or anything like that. Hey, it's me and Will out here just chilling. We got a picture up here for those listening. Will and I just on the putting green at Shoal Creek. Will was happier to be there than I was. I was still a little skeptical. We'd only taken like 6 steps, Henni, on the property at that picture was taken.
I can tell in your face.
That picture,
you're like,
that was a box checker, because I was like, all right, I got a smile already. Okay. All right, but I know. But yeah, that was kind of dope, man, to kind of see these guys, like, we're listening to y'all, and think about it. That's the first time in a while that I've saw a couple of people that listen to Beyond the Fairway, but this is the first time I've really felt they were hearing us.
Yeah.
Which was different. You know, yeah, we listen to you guys, but no, we're hearing you guys as well. And I think that was a pivotal moment, you know, for Doug and I. We kind of looked at each other in awe, like awestruck, maybe like, oh
yeah, like
we gotta, okay, man, like damn, now we need to be really, you know, get more focused and, you know, just want to really make sure we put out some dope ass information and whatnot.
Well, on that front, I also have a surprise for you guys for today's episode of something that I wanted to cover. So outside of this podcast, all three of us call each other and we talk about stuff that's on our minds. And I do the same with the one guest we did have on with Ray. And that for me is so powerful because we're Black people inside the golf community sharing what's going on in our lives. And the advice that we give each other and the support that we give each other is crucial. And I think it's really important. And obviously this podcast is all about community. So I wanted to bring a little flavor of that here onto the podcast to talk about what things we're going through at the moment, as well as golf stuff, so that other people can relate and hear that and maybe be like, well, this relates to me as well, or maybe not, or I've got this as an idea. So I'm going to kick off and then we can go around and see what's going on, just what's going on in your lives. So in my life right now, I'm trying to figure out, you know, Ray, who we're talking about from Black British Golfers, we always ask each other this one question once a week. We say, how's your energy right now? And I love that question because it's deeper than like, how are you? Like you have to actually think, how's my energy? Where am I at? What am I feeling?
Henni, how is your energy?
Thank you. My energy right now is I'm trying to do the work. I'm trying to simplify everything. I feel like I've been in a position over the last year or 3-4 years, in fact, like a chunk of crazy changes, like moving to America, working with Tiger, getting married, having a family, moving back to England, working at Sky. During that time I was in America, I worked with CBS, PGA Tour, Golf Channel, Discovery, and Sky. So everything was all so crazy and in flux. And I feel like now I've been back in England for a year, been in this house for a year, and I really want to just knuckle down and focus on the little intricacies of work, how I'm doing that, how I'm preparing, silly little things at home, like, am I sticking to my budgets? Am I focusing on my financial goals for the future?
Henni act like she got a budget. She ain't got no damn budget. Well, look.
I do.
Unlimited budget.
I wish. Ben says I act that way. I do have one. Little things just like working on the garden, staying home, working out again, getting into a routine. I did acupuncture the other day just to try and balance my energy levels out. And I've got some traditional Chinese herbal medicines now just to try and like get myself sorted. I need to meditate more. I don't know why I don't. Something's holding me back.
It sounds like you looking for something though, Henni.
I am. I'm looking for that like
what are you looking for with all these?
That's a very good question.
I don't know what it is.
I'm looking to get back to my baseline. Do you get that? Like, you know, when you have this baseline and things move off of that? And I feel like I've been so far off that for the last few years that I'm looking to try and get back to that and like simplify and figure out where that is again. Because for me, getting off my baseline for too long feels scary. Like I feel all out of whack and I don't really know where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, uneasy, and I can attest that because, you know, I say it all the time. Like, you know, I feel like music and smells are the closest thing to a time machine.
You've been around Bradford Wilson too long.
What that
smells?
Yeah, right. He does ask that question, but I feel like music and smell are the closest thing to a time machine, right? And you know, given the fact that you know, starting this business, you know, underrated tour, make sure that we you know, which is my first and foremost love.
Dude, why are you always plugging underrated, man? We know that you involve with underrated.
I know,
you
man.
Say it every time.
I know,
man.
because
like, I feel like Steph or somebody got you on like a mignonette. Like, hey, man, you better say our name. You better say our name. Say it, Will.
Not at all.
Sorry.
It's the fact that I'm so proud of what the hell Steph is doing and what he opportunity he provided. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm done with that. But just balance. But I felt like this week was a level set. Me trying to get the movies off, and pitch meetings and appearances and here and there and consulting. I feel like this week was the level set because I had an opportunity to go back to that smell. And I can't explain to you that obviously we know that Wells Fargo was here in my hometown in Charlotte this week. And so it was like, again, going back to that moment when I was a kid and I used to go watch the guys playing when Joey Sandelar won, right?
There you go.
When it was called the Wachovia Championship. And and I feel like I level set, being in the ropes inside the ropes with Willie Mack as he was preparing for the championship, and seeing Marcus Bird preparing for the championship, as well as
Quinn Riley was there.
Quinn Riley was there, and it was kind of cool seeing that, right? And so that got my energy level back. It got me back level set, and getting here, coming to Birmingham, I feel happy just where the game is going. I feel happy where the work that we put in thus far, and it was kind of like my little all-star break, kind of.
You're feeling inspired.
I'm inspired. My partner Heather Prendini, she's mad at me because I just ignored every email that she sent.
Every text message, email, phone call,
every email.
Doug, where's your energy at?
You know what? Like on some real. I think coming off the 2 weeks or the week and a half in Mexico, down for the Vedanta, and staying with the family down there, time changes. You get a little worn down when you don't know what time change. Hell, we were late to record today because Will and I thought we were on the East Coast time. And hell, I called you just to say what's cracking and hi, and you're like, the hell are you doing calling me? Like, get on the podcast.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought,
Will, I called Henni just like, hey, girl, what up? She's like, hi. And I was like, yeah, so what's going on? She's like, where's your computer? Look, I took the phone and gave her. I was like, look, it's set up over there. Like, I'm in the bed. Like, she's like, so you going to record a podcast? I was like, no, we got an hour. It's 7:04. She's like, no. It's 8:04 Eastern. I'm like, oh snap!
Hey, no, I hit her. I hit Henni with the like. All right, you got a hard stop at 8. I love you. I'll jump on 10 minutes early. It's approaching 7:50.
I'll get up at 7:50. I was like, it's 8:10 now. He's like, oh my god.
I'll say this though, when I got, and this is I mean this about energy. When sometimes you can feel lost in this kind of industry, right? Because you're trying to get on shows and you're trying to prove your worth. And yeah, I'm here for the PGA Works show airing on Golf Channel. Final round will be tonight. Make sure you watch that 6 p.m. Eastern. I think, I don't know. So you're trying to get on shows. You're trying to show run yourself, basically. And when the DJ started playing the music, and those kids from I3 youth organizations, Jack and Jill youth organizations, Birmingham's housing authority kids. I'm missing one, Will, but they'll be all right. And when those kids we got the music playing from DJ Seals, we're on a range. There were golf balls and just representatives from Titleist and all these different people on the range, and those kids were lighting up. It was an attentive clinic where the kids were actually trying and paying attention.
Yeah.
All little black kids from all over. Like, and I didn't know that Birmingham was somewhere north of like 65% African American. So these were black kids. And when you see them hit the ball and you see their faces light up and they look back at the coach and the PGA professionals from the Alabama section and all over the country came in to be a part of this thing, and Will saw me, man. I was on the mic kind of hosting. Me and Will were hosting, but I think Will just was like, you know what? I think Doug got this. Yeah, Doug got this one. I had left the building, Henni.
Henni.
I was out there swag surfing. I'm swag surfing on the driving range.
Henni, when Doug get into his mood, right? And Doug was full throttle, and I was like, I was like, you know what? Doug, you got it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, Will. Yeah. I turned Will into a hype man. And no, I think just the being somewhere familiar, like Will was talking about with the smells, and I do understand that point, Will, because I lost my mom, and when I smell her perfume walk past me and it's another lady, I'll be like, what the
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get that jolt of like memory.
Yeah.
That's how it felt kind of at the PGA Works Collegiate Championship. And then as soon as those kids came out and started having a good time, I forgot I was at Shoal Creek.
Yeah.
I mean, from a stance of where it's been, where it's trying to go, it went by the wayside because those kids and the happiness and the enjoyment of the game became the most important part of my day. And I want to thank Will for letting me kind of just be in the pocket, because I was in the pocket for about 2 hours, man. I blacked out. I had
I saw the zone.
I'm swagging. Look, I'm swagging. I'm surfing.
Yeah,
I'm swagging.
I got that video. I need to see that video. I got that video. That was funny.
I was having a blast, man. And
That sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, that was my reset. So my energy right now is cool. Like going into this Golf Channel broadcast today. I've never actually worked with the Golf Channel team. Brant Packer is producing the show this week, so I've shadowed him, and Fran Charles is hosting. Can I tell a quick story, real quick? Story? I know, Henni. So Ben Dawn, who's over kind of championship broadcast for Golf Channel, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna be a part of the PGA Works Collegiate Championship broadcast." I was like, "Cool." He's like, "All right, you're gonna be with Julia Johnson and Smiley Kaufman, and Fran Charles was gonna host." And I hadn't met Fran Charles yet, and I was like, I had to ask a question, right, to Power, and I'm like, you know what? I just gotta ask this, Ben. I'm not the only black person on this broadcast, right? No offense, Fran, because I hadn't met Fran yet. Fran is an African American man, so at the time, but it was one of those questions, Will, like I had to ask, like, wait, because I was feeling like a little box checky, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Dougie, come do the black stuff again.
Yeah, right.
Come do it again. It's like, all right. And then once I found Fran was actually hosting and Steve Burkowski's on there doing holes, I was kind of like, okay, all right, there's some effort here, and I feel a little bit more comfortable. So, going through that pre-show rehearsal yesterday, I'm feeling good about this week's show. But it is the first time a non-PGA entertainment production I'm being on. So some nerves, but I'm happy about it.
Good.
You're gonna crush it.
You're gonna crush it. You're gonna
bring
do well,
yourself
bro.
to the broadcast.
Well, when people hear this and go to watch the tournament, it'll be day 3. So boom, I'll have it down by then, man.
You will. All right. What to finish up? What is this rap foursome? I want in on this. What is it?
Will, should I do it?
We can bring it back. Go ahead. Do the Henni, bro. The Henni. Yeah, do it. Bring back. Rewind.
He's getting ready.
I gotta remember how I used to do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
All right, Henni, we're gonna send you out of here the only way that we know how. It's the only time you'll get this question. You probably won't get it again in your life. We call it Rap Foursome right here on Beyond the Fairway podcast. You're gonna go play golf with 4 rappers. You're playing an actual 5-ball. Okay, it's you and 4. So 5 of y'all. Henni, I need to know who you
hold
pulled
on,
up to the
Doug.
course with.
They can be dead or alive.
Dead or alive. I forgot that. See, it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Let me finish it. Henni, who you pulled up to the course with?
Lauryn Hill.
Okay, she's rapping.
Okay. Yeah, she's rapping. Yeah.
She can rap.
Nas.
Ooh,
Didn't see that coming.
chills. That just gave me goosebumps right there.
Still
Common.
Common sense.
I love you. A conscious rapper.
I love Common.
You got to be saying something.
Common with the FAMU, just for your record.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Rattlers.
I'm going to go with what my heart tells me, and I'm going to go new, and I'm going to go Coach of the Friend.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Who? What? Wait a minute.
What?
To the friend.
Okay. You need to listen to Coat of the Friend.
Coat? Like a coat? Coat of the friend?
Kota.
Coda.
The Friend.
Cody.
Coat of the friend.
Oh, the friend of the friend.
Yeah, that accent makes it sound like he was
Oh,
putting
wait,
on a
I
jacket.
my English
Oh, you heard of him, Doug?
Sorry.
No, I did never know, but I thought she was talking
Okay.
about a jacket.
Is he an England rapper?
Listen. No, he's American. Listen to Alkaline.
All right.
That's my jam.
All right,
That's the water right
Alkaline, Coat of the Friend.
That's the
If
water.
you are listening and you haven't heard, that would be the perfect vibe for you guys in the morning. I think it's the perfect little chill. It's kind of like common vibes in terms of what
That's
he's
the first
saying.
rhythm I've ever seen Henni exude. She was like,
I have rhythm.
ooh. I didn't say you
Just 'cause
didn't. I just said that's the
I
first time
don't.
I've seen you
Here's
show
the
I
it.
don't
thing.
have
Here's the
rhythm.
thing. Doug has only ever seen me dance from my chest up.
He'd be like,
That's it. In a little box
Henni does
on
this.
Zoom. And there's only so much you can do.
There's so much you can do.
Like,
That's
you
'cause we
can't
got kids,
see
Henni. We got
what my
kids.
feet doing. You can't see any of my other vibe. So he questions.
I didn't question nothing. No, I didn't. I didn't question nothing. But hold on. One thing that's never happened on this show: Will Lowry, rap foursome, go. Never been said ever in the history of Beyond the Fairway podcast.
Yeah. I'm on Nas. I'm on Jay-Z. I'm a fan of Common, and there's this group.
You picking Common? You said I'm a fan. You didn't pick him.
No, I'm picking Common. Sorry, picking Common. And there's this group out of North Carolina called Little Brother.
Oh, I know Little Brother.
Little Brothers. These guys are cold, man. So that's my rap.
But that's like 6 people.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm adding No Name to mine. Then.
Who?
No Name.
I like No Name. I'm not going.
I never heard No Name.
You can't have a 5. He
added
breaking
more.
the rules.
I'm having.
No,
he
added a group. That's a singular name. That's a group.
Lauren Hill.
All right, Lauren Hill. Well, I'd say
we're playing a 6-ball.
I'd say this.
Selfish, Henni. Selfish. She broke the rules. See how hell she gonna break our rules.
Hey, one big thing to know about me. One of my huge sayings that my husband sometimes loves and hates is that rules are a suggestion. They're a guidance to be broken.
Did you see Henni hit the Donald Trump with the hands?
Yeah, yeah.
With the...
yeah.
Ew. No.
Look. It's gonna be huge.
I don't follow the rules.
See, you got the joke. Thank you, Will. You, Will. Yeah, oh man, that was.
And let me tell you something. Before we get out of here, it has nothing to do with nothing. I'm in bed in my hotel room, and these guys walked in. Didn't even say
room service.
Room service. I'm completely ass naked in bed, and I was asleep, and I woke up. Like, man, she saw everything. And the bad part is, I can't even complain because I don't even remember who the hell I saw. She just saw everything. I'm still kind of hot. I'm like, and then I don't even know. This is another thing too.
Will's like, let me explain. Hold on, come
on. So I gotta explain because now I'm walking down the hallway. The housemates are laughing. Are you laughing what you saw? Like, it was cold in here. So I got a lot going on right now.
No man wake up cold, man. Shut up, Will.
And if this isn't an insight into our conversations outside of the podcast, and I don't know what is.
It was 67 degrees in here now. I just gotta. They can walk back in. Just let me put this thing on 78 real quick. Golly. All right, we gotta go. I know you got a hard stop.
On that note, I don't even know what else to say.
We ain't saying nothing. Well, holla.
All right, be good. Henni, enjoy your day. I love you, girl. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Bye.